Visit Down across the store at Coles.
For a rich, creamy Tasmanian taste, Tamar Valley yogurt 700 gram to 1 kilo. Down to just $5.80. That's right, just $5.80.
Good things are happening to prices at Coles.
Get comfy, get the popcorn.
Get Stan, Netflix, and Fox.
Don't just get Cowboys, get live Cowboys. Get Marks, get Big Kids. 45 million of them on Apple Music. Get with the program. Get what everyone's talking about. Get laughing here, get netball there. Get access to gigs, live gigs too. Don't just get a plan. Get more of what you love included with Telstra, Australia's favourite network.
Before we got on natural gas log fire, we used the Dragon. But I'd have to say natural gas is instantly better.
Install a new natural gas log fire and get $1,000 cash back. Search Go Natural Gas.
The president's adding drug cartels to the list of terrorist organizations. He's going to help us start a war. With who? Everyone. Adios.
Now is the time to live comfortably. The Lazy Boy Financial Year End Sale is on now with up to 50% off store-wide. Hurry into Hortons, Katara or Rutherford for the end of financial year sale and save up to a massive 50% off.
Everyone loves a hearty winter soup, so warm up at Woolworths with Heinz Big and Chunky or Classic Soup, 520 to 535 grams, on special for only $1.75 each. Save 75 cents.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Shane Flanagan has promised new recruit Aaron Woods he'll help him reclaim his beloved Blues jersey. But first, the Sharks coach has to figure out how to use Woods alongside Cronulla's other front row heavyweights.
Keen to make a good first impression, Aaron Woods arrived early to check in for Cronulla's flight to New Zealand. Tomorrow's match, the first for his new club, and hopefully the start of a return to form.
So I've got to get him back to playing Test football and Origin football. I know he's got a lot to contribute and he hasn't been playing his best football this year, but from now we've got to get it out of him.
Woods' move from Canterbury took just a few hours to finalise. Shane Flanagan is still putting the pieces of the Sharks' star-studded front row together. Woods joining fellow rep stars Matt Pryor and Andrew Fafita.
We'll sit down with him and discuss the way we're going to use him, especially this week. It'll all evolve. It's not going to be 100% this week.
The Bulldogs are refusing to let their mid-season departures get them down, putting things in perspective, training with competitors from the Special Olympics.
You know, if you come into training and you've got a frown on your face, I think you need to have a bit of a look at people in a worse off situation than you and realise that we're pretty lucky to do what we do.
Their captain adamant the next 2 years aren't write-offs, despite a complete salary cap overhaul.
We're definitely not talking about rebuilding here. We're competing.
There is hope for Canterbury fans. A descendant of rugby league royalty will make his debut against Newcastle on Saturday. 21-year-old Lachlan Lewis, nephew of King Wally.
He's just a footy player, mate. He really backs his ability and, he puts his body on the line and he's just a real exciting player to watch.
Luke Duffy, NBN News.
Parramatta co-captain Beau Scott has announced his immediate retirement from the game. The former Blues forward suffered a season-ending ACL injury in round 11 against the Warriors. Scott played 244 games in the NRL during stints with the Sharks, Dragons and the Knights. Dylan Walker likes to sledge. He claims it makes him a better player, but even though the last time he mouthed off, he wound up with a broken cheekbone, the Seagull star remains as lippy as ever.
It was a brutal punch which fractured Dylan Walker's face and sidelined him for 6 weeks, but the fiery Seagull is back and ready to rumble again. For the first time, Walker has revealed the sledge which sparked the confrontation with Curtis Scott.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was just light hazing. It was just, all I said was just like, you're an idiot. That's about it. That was the only thing. It wasn't bad. I said said worse.
Walker won't be changing his niggling ways. He says it makes him a better competitor.
I know a lot of people don't like what I do, but I'm not here to impress everyone. It gets the best out of me, and I enjoy. It holds myself accountable, if that makes sense. If I go and do things like that, then I have to come out and play hard.
Aquila Uarte won't be playing for the Seagulls again. He's been ruled out for the remainder of the season with an ankle injury and is then off to England.
It's a bit heartbreaking to see him go out that way. Obviously, he wanted to finish the year off really strong. So to see him, that we couldn't send him off was, pretty heartbreaking.
The Seagulls are already down on players, and adding to their woes, Marty DePauw hasn't trained with the side all week. He's been stuck in the US, unable to get a flight out after New Zealand's test match against England. But he hasn't lost his sense of humour, tweeting from San Francisco, "I should book my flight with this airline to get home." Danica Mason, NBN News.
The Socceroos are gone, but the biggest sporting show on earth rolls on without us. And a fanatical football nation dodged a bullet this morning, as Clint Stanaway reports.
It certainly did get really hairy for Argentina. In fact, you only had to look at the legend Diego Maradona in the stands to discover how tense this situation was. At one point, he gave Nigerian fans a really cheeky double finger salute before collapsing and requiring medical treatment inside the venue. Such was the stress of his country's predicament. They needed this win to advance, but stubbornly, Nigeria bravely held out for some 86 minutes before the go-ahead goal. It arrived and sent the Argentina fans into absolute raptures. Next up, they play France in the round of 16, one of the favourites to go all the way at this World Cup. And later today, after two shaky performances, Germany is back in action, and the defending champions must win if they're to avoid an untimely and an embarrassing exit.
Clint Stanaway reporting there. In just a moment, the big show back for a big showdown with England.
Ancestry DNA, now just $99 in our end of financial year sale.
Doing the Ancestry DNA test absolutely breaks down barriers.
Discover your story for less with Ancestry DNA, just $99 until June 30.
At OMF, when we do a sale, we go really, really big. Get a minimum of 10 up to 70% off everything in our size does matter sale. No exceptions, no exclusions, just 10 to 70% off everything. End Sunday at OMF.
Hello, Australia. Take out your CTP Clean Slip with Amy and you'll get access to the Amy Lucky Cup with a range of exclusive experiences to enjoy. CTP with Amy. Now that's lucky.
Lucky, you're with Amy.
James Murray can help you organise the celebration you choose. From the service to flowers, printing, catering and more. James Murray Funerals, a celebration of life.
It's a spectacular family event not to be missed with the biggest mass pipe dance display in regional New South Wales with Scottish dance, strongman events, tug-of-war and more. The Aberdeen Highland Games, Saturday, July 7. See the website for details.